Okay guys, here we are doing the oil pan, and I just laid down the gasket in its only molded formation that can go. You want to pay attention to your bolt holes on the gasket. And I decided to pick up the camera here because this is where I want to stress something. In these oil pan kits they come with a bunch of bolts and stuff and washers, and you're going to be tempted to bolt the thing on and be done with it. But I want to stress to you to please stop there. Please, please, please go get yourselves some grade 8 hardware from your local hardware store and get grade 8 washers, and make sure you follow the proper torque specification. On the oil pan, you want to go ahead and torque them down to 15 foot-pounds. Personally, I go to 17, but don't go any harder than that, because I'll give you an example here of this particular bolt right here had to be drilled out and retapped to one size larger, because the cheap Chinese bolts that they sent with the kit were the worst quality ever, and the second it hit 15 foot-pounds, it snapped off. So do yourselves a favor, use a quality gasket. This is a Ford racing gasket. Of course, you'll see a picture of it and the part number below. Get a quality gasket, one-piece rubber, and get yourself some grade 8 hardware. You're definitely going to appreciate it when it comes to installing this stuff. So this is just simple and straightforward. There's a lot of bolts here. You're going to start just by starting them all in. Don't start torquing anything down yet. What you're basically doing is there's a grade 8 washer and a grade 8 bolt for each one. These happen to be 1-inch bolts. The thread size I'm not exactly sure on. It will be on the website though, 302budgetbuild.com, in case you're not aware of it. And basically I'm just going through and I'm putting all grade 8 hardware in here. The rear bolts, that big one back there and this big one back here, are a little bit larger. I will also post the size of that bolt there, but I'll show you an example here. There's the two different bolts, and the lower one is the larger one. This is the bigger one, and you can see when they penetrate about that much with the thicker gaskets. Go with a 1-inch bolt. These kits are going to send shorter bolts. I think they send 3/4-inch bolts, and you'll have a hell of a time getting them to catch, and they don't bite in enough, and it's just garbage from the get-go. So I think you can see the box of them right over there after I threw them off the engine because they're garbage. So use grade 8 hardware on your pan. That's a personal tip from me. I'm going to go ahead and finish putting all these bolts in here. Then we're going to go ahead and torque them down. I torque mine down to 17 foot-pounds. The factory spec is 15. So after I get them torqued down, I'll show you guys a video of the after results here, and you can see that the engine is really starting to come together nicely here. So let me get to this and I'll pick it up in a minute. Okay guys, let me just give you one final look here at the oil pan with all that grade 8 hardware on there. It looks really good, and it has a much better functionality. And these have all been torqued down to 17 foot-pounds. Again, Ford recommends 15. But you can really get a look here. It comes together very nicely. And this pan's from KMJ Performance. I believe they sent the catalog here. Right there. It's a beautiful pan. I used it on the Mustang. You can see it down there. Probably not. But anyway, it's down there. And it's lightweight. Feels like aluminum. It's got really thick sidewalls. Real thick. And it's got bigger bosses here for the bolts to go through. So all in all, just good quality. It really complements the engine nicely. So that's a good look at the oil pan there, and that's how you throw it on. It's pretty simple. Just a gasket, one-piece rubber gasket, and some grade 8 hardware. Throw away all the cheap aluminum hardware, and you're going to be off to the races. Now it's time to put the engine right side up here. Rotate her around. There. And now you can get a good look there at how it's starting to come along here. So, the oil pan looking good. You can see the gasket in there, it's nice and thick, everything's looking good. So now we can probably throw that fuel pump on there, and we're going to be ready for the heads soon. I just got to get the dowels. I'm waiting for the speed shop to open up tomorrow, and I'll show you how to put the heads on with the new head gaskets.